some next-gen stats for you.
I don't even know what a next-gen stat is.
Now we're talking.
I yelled it out today.
Now we're talking hockey, so it's pro-grade analytics, not next-gen stats.
Good Lord.
Pro-grade analytics.
They suck, too. It's funny.
What's your Corsi? Shots 4. I'm sorry.
You've yelled a lot of stuff at the TV lately that I've had no idea what you were saying. So
right. Taylor brought up the eliminating the delay penalties for over the glass. That was on my list here.
Oh, really?
But the other caveat to that was allow netted pucks, so pucks that hit the protective net that come back into play to remain live circa the arena floor.
Retarded.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I think it's retarded.
No, I don't love that, but some of the possibilities interest me more than some of the other ones. But I
don't
make the glass higher.
I don't like it.
Yeah, I
make the glass higher.
I'd be more.
I'll take
that.
higher glass, but I'm not taking an untrue bounce off a net. No thanks.
Yeah.
Oh, the next one on the list, I can see it from here. This is me all day.
Yeah, this
you can see that.
Contract teams.
That looks like hieroglyphics. I am drunk.
Oh, no, that's not the one I read. Visitors wearing dark jerseys.
I skipped one. I apologize. Visitors wear dark jerseys only, and no more thirds, alternates, or throwbacks.
Oh no, wait. Went off the rails.
Yeah.
Visitors wearing dark jerseys is great.
Here you go, Tyra Banks. Get after it.
Visitors wearing
dark
shut mine off for a minute
here.
Is great.
For the record, this is Matt's heyday. That's why we wanted him here
this
for it.
This guy bitches about eyelet holes on hats.
Here we go.
Where's everyone going?
Giving you space.
I need to
giving you some air.
I need to bounce ideas. Visitors wearing dark jerseys is great. Because no one wants to go. If you're a season ticket holder going to the Sabres games right now, you're seeing the same thing over and over. Blue jerseys against white. Blue jerseys against white. I want to see some other colors. Please, for the love of God, let me wear white. You know what? Forget that. Let's go to what NBA does. Not that
it's all willy-nilly over there.
Yeah, I don't love to give NBA credit
tight.
For... Yeah, tighter jerseys. They'll get more people watching the game.
Dad bods.
Listen,
and mullets.
They don't have a home. They don't have an away. They don't have a third. It's just it's named something stupid like the city jersey.
Yeah, they got
whatever.
6 different jerseys to squad.
It's because
it's like Oregon.
People can talk to other people about what they want to wear for that game. So they'll just schedule it. I want to see the Ducks jersey in my building.
To the NBA's credit, they took a lot of ABA with them, and that was the appeal to that sport. It was very original and unstructured, and that's why people like it. And the NBA's got a good business model, I can tell you that.
Yeah, well, yeah, they're making money hand over fist.
Yeah,
more so now
maybe
than ever.
Bettman should talk to their commissioner. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, but I don't want to see the same thing all the time. I want to see those third jerseys that all these
I want
on NHL.com all the time in my building, so I can see
Ducks to roll in here with those thirds.
I want Phoenix to come in with that.
The old Coyotes.
Yeah, the
guy was wearing it the other night. I high-fived him. It was awesome.
Yeah, great. But eliminating all of the alternates, no. In fact, I want more alternates. Yeah. Give me all the alternates. Speaking of Bills in red today.
Oh, loved it.
The old man was not happy. He says once a year is good, and I think we change our color to red straight out. And then we go, I want red jerseys.
What do you mean once a year is good? This is the only time they've worn red this year, right?
Well, last year they wore it twice. Regardless, I was saying I want red all the time, and he goes, no, I like it once a year. The guy behind me made a good point. Let's put the old Bills logo on it.
Yeah.
Give me all the red.
Give me some white pants. Give me...
No. We will differ forever on this.
Oh, okay. Well, whatever. I don't care. I love the red. Give me the old school logo all the time.
I want the red jersey with blue pants. I did it at Madden once. It looked sweet. Fuck off, both of you.
Give me white face masks all the time.
Thank you.
Can I give that?
Thank you.
Who do I got to write a letter to? Kim? Kimmy! Tell Terry go off his ass. Get off your ass. I need white buffalo sweaters at home, and I need white face masks on the Bills.
Yeah, you own a monopoly on Buffalo sports. Figure it out.
More jerseys.
Just send people to the healthy scratch. It'll be fine.
Wow.
He's so mad.
White face. Thank you. Thank you. I totally forgot about white face masks. Absolutely.
you don't notice it until you notice it, and then you can't unnotice it. You're like, wow, that looks good.
I hate the Jets, but when they opened the year, they wore their white face mask, and they should never be taken away.
Whatever.
They're gorgeous.
We wore white face masks in high school. I fucking loved them.
I thought
they looked great.
It's the white face masks in high school. I think were prominent. Oh, here we go.
Let me get those on the back. Look at those.
These are my slippers from the Iberostar Grand in Mexico.
I told them I was getting them on.
Yeah.
They cannot go on. Look at those
one
things.
slipped off.
Look at those things.
Yeah, these are sexy as shit.
They're a little dirty.
Where was I?
More jerseys.
Nightclub in Mexico.
White face masks in high school. I feel like they were prominent on helmets in general. I think every high school helmet had a white face mask. I know there was a few that didn't, but I thought that was just stock.
Right.
Was a white face mask. But I also don't think they were the bright white that I'm seeing on TV. And
The
obviously,
electric white.
Yeah, boogie woogie woogie.
You know what's the worst color? Gray.
Terrible.
It's just
Terrible. The color gray is about as awesome as you like referring to me as gray. It's Trash Panda.
Who do I refer to as gray?
I was in general.
Oh.
Like, hey, like you look pretty gray. Like the feeling of gray is about as awesome as the color gray. There's a reason it's referred to as gray. It sucks.
Eeyore's gray.
Eeyore is an adorable, cuddly donkey. And if you talk ill of anything,
I will not.
the Pooh,
No, first of all, Eeyore is my life.
Oh.
I feel like I'm Eeyore.
yeah, you're totally right. I didn't think about it.
I don't know what's there to hate.
That's awesome.
How do you be miserable and not come out of your house all the time?
So,
Eeyore.
while we're here, what would be your Winnie the Pooh character?
I gotta be Pooh.
Oh, I assume that. That's why I asked you first. I gave you the opportunity to, in fact, be Pooh.
You got the red hair. I feel like there's only
you're Tigger.
Yeah, I think there's only one.
You know what?
You know what, though? If we wanted to have a red beard debate, all of a sudden he'd be Tigger.
That's not true.
Now get the fuck out of here.
No. In this conversation,
You think
if
you're red?
in the summer, yes. I'll show you pictures.
It's cool for the summer.
It'll be fine. I'll show you pictures. I have proof.
Sing it to me.
She's still alive. Too soon?
I don't know. Well, she's
So
Maybe we should feel sorry for her. Move on.
So do we want to do we want to contract teams, take teams away from cities, or add more?
I want teams out of Fort Lauderdale. I think that's a waste of time.
Absolutely.
They can leave Arizona too. No one cares about that.
Yeah, somebody needs to move their ass to Seattle in a hot minute.
Well, Seattle's coming.
That's
They're a new
expansion?
team. Yep, that's
okay.
official.
We did talk about that.
That's official. They are a new team, so they'll have 32 now, just like the league they're trying to emulate. But how there's a team in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and Arizona, and not in Quebec City or Hartford or
Saskatchewan.
Whatever.
I want Saskatoons.
I appreciate the fact that, I mean, hockey, I guess I would consider to be a winner.
Score! Woo! Oh, I'm out of the picture. Score! Pay Jeff Skinner right now. Forget this podcast. Pay Jeff Skinner as much money as he wants.
Pay the man his money.
I know he asked for whatever the rumor was from Jeremy White.
What a save.
Oh my God, what a save.
When did that happen?
We were talking
You
about,
guys missed it. I saw it.
Oh my God.
Jeff Skinner could ask for $12 million right now, and I'd consider, well, maybe he's worth it.
Is that even an NHL number?
Dude,
Yeah. Well, him and his...
God,
Yeah, look at
bury
him.
that thing.
Can we talk about the pass from Jack?
Jack Eichel is playing on another world.
Look at this
right
pass from Jack. Oops.
Jack doesn't know what he's doing. He's just doing it all well. He's a great hockey
doing
player.
really awesome.
And
Yeah,
Jeff Skinner is just finding pucks on his stick and burying it. But if I have to pay $10 million a year...
There's a goalie and two defensemen here that didn't know where the puck was from the pass. I've never seen... Like, that was who's on first, it looked like.
I'm sorry if I blew someone's ears out with that, but I got excited.
Honestly, the dials are probably messed up anyways.
It's fairly true.
Okay.
And common.
Screw this podcast.
So we're moving teams from shitty cities, putting them in better cities.
As I was saying, I appreciate the fact that even though I would consider to be hockey a winter sport and cold, if not always in cold places, I think warm places have proven the fact that it's possible.
Yep.
San Jose,
Vegas.
Dallas.
I think Vegas gets it just because they're always going to have people that are going to say like,
I mean, but that's a better decision.
Well, yeah, if you're going to pick a warm market, you're going to go with that. I totally understand.
Go where the people are. Clearly, no one's going to a hockey game.
It's unnecessary that there's 2 teams in the state of Florida to play hockey.
Yeah. It's
like that's, why does North Dakota not have a hockey team?
California has 3.
Well, it's the biggest state in the. When it snaps off, it won't matter. The Sharks are going to swim away.
You're telling me I get that they might not have a ton of people, but you're telling me cold states like
North Dakota. Like I said, I mean, these states that you don't talk about, like there's 50 states.
There's at least a big enough
25
city.
of them uttered on a natural day. Like, I mean, nobody knows about North and South Dakota until I'm watching NCAA hockey on ESPN 8 the Ocho.
When the Fighting Sioux were in the Final Four.
Oh, the Fighting Sioux. All right.
So I understand it needs to be everywhere. And it should be, but we got to pick better markets. And I also think that Quebec needs a team again.
Like Tampa gets people to go.
Well, win games.
Yeah.
Even when Florida was winning games, no one was going.
No.
I mean, they didn't.
They won a game
proof in the pudding.
They won some games for a season.
Yep, that's true too. Sustained success.
Who was the old goaltender that was good in Florida?
I
want to know.
John Van Beesbrook.
Van Beesbrook. I needed the V. Thank you. I just wanted to hear the name. Appreciate
the Beezer.
I couldn't think of it, and I wanted to recall.
Also, hockey's just got the best names in all sports. Forget every
Felix Potvin.
And Andrei Trefilov was a goalie for the Buffalo Sabres.
So was Grant Fuhrer.
They're all great. Kuznetsov. Give me. It's because you get so many.
My nuts on.
Yeah. So, folks,
hashtag bad dad jokes.
Oh God,
we're gonna have to put it down here somewhere.
God. You son of a bee sting. You know what I mean?
I think we can all agree.
They are the bees. That's right.
Bad dad jokes. So I think we can all agree on no more challenges on offside plays when you're nitpicking that millimeter.
Yeah, you want to talk about slowing the game down? Get the hell out of here.
All challenges from hockey should be gone.
No more draft.
That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Thank you.
How are they gonna? What? Stupid.
Got that?
Just sign people. Fuck it.
Did you hear me? No, that's absolutely awful. Because know what? Speaking of these shitty teams, no one's gonna sign with Florida. No one.
Yeah,
unless they give them all the money.
At least give them a shot to control somebody.
Yeah.
Then maybe
they got Aaron.
They'll have to move.
Speaking of controlling somebody for Florida, they got Aaron Ekblad, number 1, when we took Reinhart, number 2 that year.
How's Reinhart doing?
Better than Ekblad. Ekblad was the worst number 1 pick to come out in quite a long time. Beside all the Edmonton draft picks that were terrible for so many years that led them to Connor McDavid. I digress.
All right.
The tank.
Eliminate the shootout.
The tank worked.
You go first. You go first.
No, I've been going first.
The only reason I jumped at this is because I happened to have this conversation last night while I was at work, and the conversation we were having is the excitement of 3-on-3 overtime hockey. So years ago when we went back to the shootout, I was juiced.
Yep.
I loved it.
Yep.
Now that we've changed overtime, I would rather play 10 minutes of 3-on-3 than 5 in a shootout.
I 100% agree.
So that's my argument to that. I love the shootout, but I love 3-on-3 more.
Any thoughts?
I love the shootout. I love that. Listen, 3-on-3 is exciting as all hell.
Give me 10 in the shootout. At least give me more 3-on-3 time.
Yes, I'm okay with that.
Keep the shootout. That's fine.
I think the shootout personally is one of the best things in sports.
I loved it. I loved it. Just the 3-on-3 is wheeling and dealing. It feels like you're in the street getting after it like we were kids.
I hate the control game that all 3-on-3 overtime plays now, but it still leads to awesome back and forth 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So give me all 3-on-3 all day.
It seems more scoring chances, more action, more big saves. I mean,
and
passing is fun.
I think if you extend the 3-on-3 to 10 minutes and then say shootout, I think the whole thing's just exciting.
Yeah. There's got to be an end to the game. So I'll take 10 in the shootout.
When's the last time you sat there and said, "Oh, there's a shootout," and just like sat back and stared at it?
The shootout's exciting.
Well, we did when we had Robin Leonard because he couldn't save a shot.
Yeah, we knew it was over. We knew it was over.
That ass can't even skate.
We could just
Yeah,
leave
I
now.
mean, there's got to be an end to a game because as far as I'm concerned, the NFL's overtime blows to me. I don't need to get into this right now because that's a whole other thing.
Yeah,
the NFL's overtime sucks because if I can end up with a tie, that's the worst thing of all time. So I'll take the shootout in the regular season to end it because I love the playoff overtime.
Yeah.
That's fine. Let's play hockey and let's get it. That's awesome.
Yeah, because teams
But in the
play
regular
hockey.
season, it's 82 games. I know we got to put an end to games at some point for player health and stuff
And
like that.
I think the biggest difference with the playoff, when you go to the full periods for overtime, you don't have boring sit back like
those are regular playoffs.
Everyone's getting
it's game 2.
Someone's got to win. You got to get after it.
Right, we may have.
I can't sit on my
6
hands
more
because I know I'm 10 points up with 3 games left, and I don't really care about this overtime game.
So we already covered more points for regulation wins.
Oh, I guess I'll skip down the list.
You're the hockey guy.
Going back to the 1v8 format for playoffs. So the top team plays the worst team, and
100%. And do you know what we're talking about?
No, actually, I don't. I've heard about it, but I haven't paid enough attention to know the reseeding of sorts.
You play. It's meant to increase rivalries. So you play. You play more people in your division. So it's meant to increase Buffalo versus Toronto, Buffalo versus Boston, Buffalo versus.
We're talking regular season?
Maybe not Boston. No, for the playoffs.
Okay.
So playoff starts. The teams that make the playoffs are the top 3 in each division, and then the next 2 are wild card teams. But they don't seed them 1 through 8. They seed them based on what division you're in. So
it's like 1 through 4 versus 1 through 4?
it's more like. And I don't know, and I don't have it written in front of me, so I don't know we haven't been to the playoffs in so long.
Trust me, we've said so much shit that's not true. It's not even fun.
Personally, to me, like the fact that you're a huge hockey fan and you don't really get how it works is a problem.
I believe that it's,
Batman, you blow.
I believe it's the number 1 team in the division plays the wild card team, and then number 2 and 3 in that division play each other round 1. So it's like
1 versus 4 and 1 versus 4, and then what's
kind
the
of. But
reseeding?
the 2 wild card teams could be from either division. So both wild card teams could come from one division. Either way, yes. So right now, if the season ended, we'd be playing Toronto, which is a tough draw. But if we fall into a wild card spot, we would play Pittsburgh, or not Pittsburgh, Washington, who we played the other night, or something along those lines that might be an easier draw for you than if you finish better, but you have to play, because Tampa and Toronto are in the same division, you got to play a tougher team. So essentially, go back to 1v8, just rank them 1 versus 8. That's how it should be.
It
should have never changed. The fact that it does not increase rivalries or whatever they say it does.
That's what I play the regular season for. I play more divisional games for that purpose. Don't fuck with my playoffs.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, without knowing all the details, I hate it.
Gary Bettman.
That's enough for me. You suck.
On the suck list.
What time is it?
We've been doing this for a while, so we're going to wrap up a little bit here. Other minor issues, outdoor games. Some people complain about them, some people love them.
Whatever. There's too many of them.
There are too many of them.
Watered down.
That is my issue.
Give me one a year.
I would have stuck with the 1 a year. I appreciate the idea of the stadium games, and I'm sure. I mean, I went last year, but it was also the Winter Classic I went to, and it wasn't one of the stadium series.
Right.
And I'm sure those people in those places enjoy the shit out of it.
Right.
And that's great, but
I get you
it's
trying to give
taken
them
some of
more
the
people.
luster away. Like when I used to get geared up to watch the game, and now it's on. There's 2, 3 of them, and I go, if I miss one, whatever.
Half the time I catch
it's like a Thursday night football game to me now. Actually, is the best way I could put it.
Absolutely.
Maybe not that low, but I'm not setting time aside to watch it.
We covered 3-on-3 overtime. He complained there wasn't enough goals and basically bitched about West Coast hockey, meaning playing defense. There's no way to stop that, so shut the fuck up. You're an idiot.
Yeah, don't make the nets bigger.
Yeah,
I don't want the nets bigger. I want the ice bigger, though.
I wouldn't mind going. I wouldn't mind going to Olympic ice. Give your skill players that are littering all these teams now more space to do what they do.
Hockey is one of the few sports that I feel like the players have outgrown the rink size. I think the bigger, faster, stronger now leads to hockey where there are people all over you all the time, and there's no room to see what we watched like Gretzky do.
Right.
You know what I mean?
I feel kind of that way with baseball. Then these guys are just so big and powerful now that these 400-foot parks are almost not holding some of them now.
Baseball, the only thing you would change is the fence. But my 90 to 90 in baseball is still...
What if you didn't do 90 to 90?
I don't know. But what I can say is the game grew within the confines of it, and it's just the times changed. But you know what I mean? I guess I'm having a hard time explaining that.
Well,
it didn't affect what the game looked like.
If I got all these relievers coming out of the pen now, tossing 90, like after the fourth inning, I never see a sub 95 fastball again.
Yeah, the goal to get to a bullpen kind of thing anymore.
Yeah, maybe I need to move the mound back. That would change. That would require change the whole game. But
that's why they moved the mound up and down instead of back and forth.
Yeah, well, either way.
Regardless, I think the ice should be bigger. I think
I wouldn't mind going big.
I think it should be bigger. And if we're still talking about appeal to the NHL, and the NFL has now gone to score. I make the ice bigger. I think scoring goes up. At minimum, the style of play looks more appealing visually, which makes my fan base go up.
More ice to sell ads on. You know what I mean?
If I have to watch that crap-ass ice that's in those foreign countries, in those jerseys, no, I don't want that. I don't want that.
I don't mind the what the NHL did in the trapezoid here with the little Coca-Cola logo, but
put the weird green screen crap on the glass. I don't care about that.
Yeah,
keep it off my ice.
Yeah, once you start multicoloring the face-off circles to,
it looks like I'm playing a weird style.
John Deere green. I don't know how many John Deere people enjoy watching hockey, but maybe a few.
Make my face-off circles John Deere green.
Waffle House ad. I feel like Tin Cup from Salome, Texas.
He bitched about there being a lack of Canadian representation in the postseason, which dropped viewership 61%.
Fuck Canada.
Like when you talk about viewership for the NHL,
my mic got away from my face.
Regular season, and then postseason hit, and postseason should increase viewership. It actually took a nosedive because Canada loves hockey, and there's nobody in Canada playing hockey.
Yeah, and the market's dying.
Well, be better. I don't know what to tell you.
But I mean, we also talked about part of the issue being a lack of Canadian teams. You know what? There's three.
Oh, they started the game. They should have more teams, I guess. I don't know.
Toronto, Ottawa,
Edmonton, Montreal, Winnipeg, Calgary.
So there's 6
Vancouver.
out of 30. So 7 out of 31.
Soon to be 32. Yes. I don't know what to tell you. Get bigger cities. I mean, what else is there?
There's two teams in Florida.
Yeah,
I think per capita, the way that country is shaped is just it doesn't allow you to have teams like that.
Well, they want to put two in Toronto. They want to put one in Quebec City.
Listen, before you put
Quebec
two anywhere. Like Quebec, bring it back. Anyway, the tanking issue being like teams like they get to a certain point and they just sell things off and go from there. That being an issue more in hockey than anything else because of your top 1 or 2 guys are studs and everybody else is like meh.
Yeah, I guess that. But then you'd see it more in baseball, I feel like, because baseball has those 1 or 2 guys that are generational, I guess, that might come to you in a year, but then the rest of them are you're drafting high school kids.
Right.
Same kind of idea. I don't know. I feel like
the broad spectrum of athletes in the game of hockey and the game of baseball are vastly different from like the litter you're picking from for like football.
Right.
Not that football is not a worldwide game or anything, but there's so many people playing hockey and baseball from everywhere that the way you find those people is harder. So I think there could be more generational people, but it's watered down to a sense that you're missing some of those people.
Yeah.
But you got the lottery for the first 3 picks, so even if you got all the way down to the bottom, you could still end up drafting 4th. So you would think there would be more in football in the sense of if you dive bomb your team, looking at you, Indianapolis Colts, Peyton Manning to Andrew Luck. That was tanking wasn't really a thing at that point, but that was a pure tank if I ever saw it. We had Peyton Manning. We're going to get rid of him and everybody else who's good on this team for this year, because then we're going to draft Andrew Luck and be set up for the next 15 years.
Right.
So
not the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
There's no lottery in football, so all you got to do is be the worst. You don't need to be the worst and have some luck.
The lottery bothers me, though.
Yeah, I agree.
The lottery bothers you when you're in in the first spot and you lose Connor McDavid.
Yeah,
that's when the lottery bothers you.
Poor handling of misconduct, i.e., the Pat Kane alleged rape case, stuff like that. Different misconduct cases, just things that in other sports make huge news, like.
No one cares about hockey.
Right, and that's actually
basically what it is.
Honestly, the last couple things here are poor coverage for the minors in college. Nobody, the AHL games aren't even televised if you're not in the city. No, there's no network that covers the AHL. You only hear about college for the Final Four, and then
I would prefer more college coverage, but I feel like not many of the minors of any sport really get covered outside of their own city.
True.
Buffalo Bison baseball.
Really, if you think about the Big Four, though, college basketball gets a ton of coverage. College football gets a ton of coverage.
I agree.
And the next step is the pros.
Right.
So baseball and hockey being the odd man out there, if you don't have a minor league team, you don't hear about minor league players.
You don't count the G League in Europe for NBA?
Wow.
I don't even know what that is. We're going to move on.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
I think it's the G League.
It is the G League. It's Gatorade. This reminds me of Gatorade.
Yeah,
that's why it's the G League.
Yeah.
I would say, I watched college cornhole last night on ESPN, so I will gladly take any.
Put all the sports on. Slap USA on one team, and you will have me cheering for them.
Yeah.
I don't care what the sport is.
Right.
There's curling night in America on Fridays, and I couldn't be harder about it.
I mean,
6 to midnight.
World doubles. We're doing it.
Make Fridays great again.
Put it on the board.
That's
You're gonna see me and Taylor competing in the World Curling doubles soon.
6 to midnight is not when it shows on TV. For those playing the home game, it means something else.
The last couple things I got here. The last two issues being greedy owners and fans being priced out. I mean, I know it's not cheap to go to a Sabres game.
Don't tell that to Dwayne Steinell.
I mean, listen, the Sabres, for all intent and purpose, sucked last year. They sucked. They were awful. We all know that. And it was so expensive to go to a game when you got tickets for free, you almost still couldn't go because it was too goddamn expensive to go.
I think what bothers me is that I paid so much for the tickets and they were being sold for $6 a pop on StubHub. Yeah. So my incentive to continue to pay this price is what bothers me. At some point, if the product matches the price, then great. That's where we're at.
Right.
But the fact that I didn't, and we split them with somebody else, and we didn't get them this year because last year, if you thought about how much money you lost by paying for them up front, I mean, the organization put their proverbial cock in my ass for 2 years in a row.
Yeah, the only benefit really was that if you made the playoffs,
you had
first priority.
Yeah,
right.
But whoopty shit, I get that email from the Bills every year, and then I had to drive to Jacksonville for that nonsense. Fuck off.
No home games.
Put it in, and now I'm getting mad.
All right.
Though I know you guys would prefer to have more of the football atmosphere on the 100 levels of hockey games.
I think the price of the ticket has led a different fan base into that arena, and it's not what I remember.
Yes.
Growing up and going to those games, it's not the party that it was. Yeah. I mean,
I don't even necessarily need it to be a party, but I don't want to feel like an asshole for cheering either. Which is where I was at.
If I see you reading your newspaper in the first level, I'm punching you in the face.
Well, maybe winning brings more of that.
I'm drunk.
Fair enough. Newspaper.
You held out the mic. We both instinctively lean in.
Yeah, and I'm not even one. That's worked hard.
All right, we're probably pushing an hour on this episode here. So
the second period's almost over.
You are welcome.
Anything else for good order here?
Extra dose of Matt Taylor today.
The biggest dosage.
You know what? I had a good time. This was fun. Thanks for being here. I'm sure we'll do it again.
Yeah.
We'll figure something else out. We'll get another one going.
I'm more than happy to come for the episodes where we don't talk about anything except movie quotes because that's.
Oh, the holiday episode.
Yeah.
You want to come to the holiday episode?
I'm just saying I could
The
get
holiday
down
episodes-
on some movie quotes.
The holiday episode's going to be a good time. We're planning that. We're coming in hot.
The problem is that a lot of times when you guys want to do these things, I don't.
Well, this could you have a day job and we're degenerates.
That's true too.
That's not true. You got a big boy job. I'm the only idiot working 3 days a week, living the dream.
I only work 3 days a week.
That does sound like living the dream.
Sure does. How was Mexico? Oh, that's right. I was the only one there.
You were
I didn't get the
only one
invite.
there.
Wow.
We go the same time every year.
Back
365 days.
I will say it again. We are going to Detroit for Thanksgiving again next year. It's kind of like when people call me on my birthday. It's the same day every year.
Bye, everybody.
Get out of here.